magic few seconds. GP2 with a brilliant steal on Norman Powell. And it gave the Warriors a chance. But they started too little, too late. And take their third loss of the season and their second loss.
Tim Roy on the call right there and right here on 95.7 The Game last night as the Golden State Warriors fell to the Los Angeles Clippers at the Intuit Dome, brand new stadium down there in SoCal. 102-99 the final. Warriors have their third loss on the season twice now to the Clippers. Clippers improved to 8-7. And good morning to all you lovely, lovely people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you're just getting off work, getting ready for school, appreciate you stopping by here. You got me for the next hour. Joe Spadoni here. Until I hand it off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky at the top of the hour. So we got one segment here, two more to go after that. And we're going to start where we left off last night. And shout out Evan Giddings doing a hell of a job on Warriors wrap-up, taking all your calls, all your text. I still see them on the Comcast Biz text line. You can chime in at 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text. Also, you can find us on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, all powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Just search 95.7 The Game on any of those platforms. Like and subscribe. Also, you have another way of finding us. And that's with the Odyssey app. It is free to download. Find that and thousands of other stations when you download that Odyssey app. Not just 95.7 The Game, but if you're into other music, pop culture, what's going on with Beyonce? I don't know. She's popular still, right? Beyonce, she's doing the halftime show. Netflix. Yay. That Texans Ravens. There you go. So, download the Odyssey app. Tough loss last night. That was one where I'm not going to say you should have won it because every little mini run the Warriors went on yesterday was answered by the Clippers. But there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds last night. And nothing is more frustrating as a fan, just watching it, and just a product in general, when you don't make your free throws. It's just the little things, right? It's similar in football. We're all watching the NFL right now. It's just the penalties, self-inflicted stuff, right? Like what are we doing? A 3rd and 1 run and we get a 10-yard penalty. And yeah, we ended up making up for it because Juwan Jennings broke 4 tackles. They ended up scoring a touchdown on the drive, another one to Juwan Jennings. But you make it harder on yourself. And you make it harder on yourself in the NBA and in basketball when you don't convert at the line. 9 of 19 overall is not going to get it done. Hell, you make 4 more of those shots, you win the game. You make 3, and the game is tied, and you're going to overtime. But 9 of 19 overall. Kuminga, 1 of 4 at the line. He's kind of struggled throughout his career with that. He's a little young. He can fix it. But Trace Jackson Davis, 0 for 2. Pods. What's going on with Pods? Eesh. That looks great. 60 minutes for him last night. 0 of 4 from the floor. Just the 1 point at the line. He had 5 boards, a couple of assists, but has not been great. He was a plus-minus at +2, but the shot just isn't there. And if the shot's not there for him, well, we got other people that can make shots on this team. And again, it speaks to the depth. So it might not be his time right now, but someone else will step up. But last night, no one really stepped up. It was Steph Curry, 10 of 21, 6 of 15 from beyond the arc. Wasn't his greatest night efficiency-wise. Andrew Wiggins, he did step up. But again, this is frustrating too for a guy that's been struggling as of late from the floor. 7 of 12, 2 of 4. He gets to the line a bunch last night, and he did convert his free throws, 6 of 8, which for Andrew Wiggins is pretty good because in the past he was just cheeks. I'm not going Mo here. He was just booty at the line. But last night, he did his job. 6 of 8, 22 points. Draymond Green did a couple threes. And when Draymond Green hits a couple threes, statistically, you're more likely to win the game by a significant margin in the Golden State Warriors Draymond Green era. Didn't happen last night. But he had a typical Draymond Green performance. 9 points, 7 assists, 9 boards. But the one that's glaring for me with Draymond, the 6 turnovers. It's a killer. And the team overall, 19 turnovers. And you look up the final score and you're saying, what the hell? We only lost by 3? Yeah, just think if you didn't turn the ball over, how much you actually would have won by. But again, another slow start in that first quarter when, you're lucky to be down 5. And then at halftime, you're really lucky just to be down by, 12? Like, it was not a great performance. But I think the Warriors are going to take away from this game is we shot ourselves in the foot. Credit to the Clippers because they answered every little run we went on with a big 3-point shot. Norman Powell, just incredible last night, leading the Clippers in scoring, 23 points, 9 of 15, 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. Every time the Clippers needed a big shot, it felt like Norman Powell was taking it. He was incredible. And then Ivica Zubac, 17 boards, the size. Size mattered. Although, Warriors out-rebounded overall, 45-44. But again, it's the little things that could do you in sometimes. And the Warriors are not above the little things. Maybe when you have Steph, Dre, Clay, and KD, you could be above the little things. But even those teams were buttoned up. You got to be buttoned up. I don't care if it's against the Clippers. I don't care if it's against the Atlanta Hawks. I don't care if it's against the 76ers, who stink, by the way. Good God. Ugh. East is just bad. Horrible. So the Warriors take the L. 888-957-9570. I want to get your thoughts, Dub Nation. Are you feeling like, oh, God, is this going to be the start of something? Relax. The nice part about the Warriors right now is that they've built up some equity early on in the season that they didn't have in the previous years, where you always felt like you were constantly one step forward, 2 steps back. But you got some breathing room early on this evening. You're 7 games over 500. You take on the not hot Atlanta Hawks tomorrow at Chase Center. Come home, then you go quick turnaround back to New Orleans for the NBA Cup, the Emirates NBA Cup, the group stage. And then you got the Spurs, you got the Nets, you got the Thunder, and then you got the Suns. So take care of the Hawks tomorrow. Get back on track before heading on to a little mini road trip. Good morning to all of you just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. It's a pregame show, Joe Spadoni. We're talking Dubs, Clippers right here on 95.7 The Game. And don't forget, 95.7 The Game, it's a Tuesday. So we got Brian Baldinger. We're not forgetting about your San Francisco 49ers because Kyle Shanahan talked to the media yesterday and he had some interesting things to say. And we'll discuss all that and more with Brian Baldinger, who joins the Morning Roast every Tuesday at 7:30. I almost said 8:30, but 7:30, Baldy breakdowns on the roast. It is appointment radio, folks. You are not going to want to miss that. Baldy, I wonder what he thought of the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith on that final drive. No Nick Bosa, no problem. Just 2 scrambles that absolutely killed the Niners on Sunday. And then he had Geno Smith doing a night-night. Did they ask Steph yesterday if they saw Geno do the night-night? I wonder what his thoughts were. Maybe we'll get that. Maybe it was pregame they asked him. But here's Steve Kerr, the head coach, on the amount of missed free throws yesterday for the Warriors. Ended up biting them in the butt.
Yeah, the free throws obviously hurt us, but as a coach, you don't really focus on that. You focus on the turnovers in the first half. I didn't feel like we really started playing until the second half, so I thought we lost the game in the first half, wasting a lot of possessions. And I give the Clippers a lot of credit. They forced turnovers. They're a great defensive team. They got into us, and we finally got engaged in the second half and made our runs, but it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. More from Steve Kerr talking about the free throws that, they haven't hurt us all until tonight.
Well, yeah, I think we entered the game dead last in free throws. We also entered the game 10-2, so they haven't hurt us until tonight. So we've got to work on it. Obviously, we've got to, our guys have to get in the gym and find their rhythm, find their confidence from the line for sure.
888-957-9570 is the number. Man, just, again, frustrating to watch, but good problems to have when you realize it was the turnovers, that 19 of them. Like, you just don't care who you're playing against. Turn the ball over that much, especially in the first quarter, first half. Any team is going to be in the game, especially if they're knocking down their threes like the Clippers were doing last night. By the way, I saw the video of James Harden, become the second all-time leader in the NBA in three-pointers made, surpassing, who was it, Ray Allen? But there was no one in the stadium. It was I heard 2,000 Clipper fans just cheering, yeah, James, he's our guy. Really? James Harden's your guy? James Harden, forever Clipper? It's just one of those things where you appreciate Steph being in one uniform forever. James Harden being a Clipper for all of 2 years. Yeah, he did that with us. Second all time in three-pointers made. Which is kind of crazy. I was filling in yesterday for Shasky, and Bonte and I were talking about it. I was like, it's kind of remarkable how we don't view James Harden as one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. He never really comes up. It's Steph, it's Clay, it's Reggie Miller, it's Ray Allen. Hell, I think Dame comes up before James Harden, but I was like, James Harden's really, really good from beyond the arc. And I get it. We hate him here in this country, sorry, I shouldn't say in this country, in Warriors country. I don't think the United States of America hates James Harden people. That's not what I'm trying to say. Sam's putting up his hand. James Harden says nothing. He goes to strip clubs. All right, that's fine.
It's not unprofessional.
It's not unprofessional. Steiny's told us that multiple times. All right?
Simply going to a strip club is not unprofessional.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell him, Steiny. So if that's the worst thing that James Harden's done, so be it. Come on. I used to like his trolley commercials too, because he used to be sponsored by gummy worms and the Sour Patch stuff. I love that. I'm a fan of James Harden. Now, a lot of people don't like his style of play. I think he's boring, but later on in his career, and listen, no Kawhi, no PG anymore. Kawhi's been hurt. Paul George is out in Sixers land. I don't know. They're a dumpster fire. Warriors dodged a bullet with that one. Imagine that. Paul George being with the Warriors right now. Eesh. All that money, all that loss of depth. Ugh. Hey, give Mike Dunleavy credit. Although he tried to make the deal. I guess it was the Clippers that we're saying now, but we'll still give Mike Dunleavy credit. But Harden has kind of, not going to say reinvented himself, but he's obviously lost a step. I mean, the guy's 35 years old. He always had the fat suit jokes. There's no one in the NBA that body fluctuates more seemingly than James Harden. There's all the memes about it. But he's played pretty well this year. I'm not going to say surprisingly because the guy's a Hall of Famer. But, his shooting percentage is down. But the assist total is what I look at. 9 assists he's averaging this year. He's becoming more of a ball distributor. He's becoming a guy that's, a floor general more than a shoot first, ISO kind of a player, which I think drove a lot of Warriors fans nuts and just a lot of fans in general. They didn't like that style of play. But listen, I'm going to give him his flowers because I don't hate as much as I used to. I appreciate good play and solid play and smart basketball. And James Harden yesterday, he wasn't great shooting the ball. But again, 16 assists. 16. He was 4-15 overall, not great, but that ball distribution was incredible. So give him his flowers. If you don't want to, well, it's a Tuesday. I get it. Tuesdays are the worst. Although we have a potluck here at the station today. I didn't bring anything. I never did. I just don't. I get up too early. I think Sam and I and Bonte, we should be exempt from the potluck stuff, right? We get here way too early. Thank you. Way too early. It's just, what do you want me to bring? A salad? It's going to be wilted, right? I'm not bringing back.
Bringing a smiling face. Isn't that enough?
Yeah. We look pretty tired come 12 o'clock when this thing starts too. We'll get just order some pizzas. How about that? That's Thanksgiving, right? Some pizza. Why not? Steve Kerr. Why did you guys turn the ball over so many damn times?
Yeah, they have a lot of long, switchable guys, who can get into the ball. So both games that we've played them, the turnovers have been the determining factor. We got into them in the second half, and we turned them over, and all of a sudden, you look at the stats. We ended up with 19. They ended up with 20. We each gave up, 30, 31 points off those turnovers. So it was kind of a wild game. So neither team executed that well on offense, but both teams have good defenses too.
And that was my takeaway yesterday too. It was great defense from both sides. There was a lot of self-inflicted wounds from the Warriors, and obviously you credit the Clippers for causing that many turnovers. But conversely, 17 turnovers for the Los Angeles Clippers, and especially late. The Warriors are making a couple late flurries there. And man, if Steph knocks one down, if GP2, whoever, someone needed to make a shot late. They were just felt like one shot short all night. And Clippers made the ones that mattered. 102-99, the final there. Draymond Green, one of the leaders of this team, talking with a little back and forth yesterday after the game with our own Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game Warriors insider.
Yeah, I sucked tonight.
Yourself, or are you talking?
I sucked tonight.
Yeah. What? Are you specifically thinking about the turnover aspect of your game, right?
Yeah, way too many turnovers. Too many missed bunnies. Yeah, I just sucked tonight.
Oh, that killed me. So I stopped listening after Slater. Listen one more time.
Yeah, I sucked tonight.
Yourself, or are you talking?
I sucked tonight.
Yeah. What? Are you specifically?
Yeah, just stop it there. I sucked tonight. Yourself, the team. Yeah, I sucked. Yeah. And then he keeps going back. I love Slater. And I don't think he meant it like that. It just comes off like, yeah, you did. Yeah. 6 turnovers is abysmal. And yes, Draymond's a very harsh critic. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest defenders of all time. And then you look at it was a Draymond stat box. Again, the 9 points, the 7 assists, the 9 boards. It was like, great. It's the 6 turnovers that are uncharacteristic. And then it's just bad. 3 fouls, led team in fouls. Like, it wasn't good. Probably should have been teed a couple times last night. Didn't happen. But hey, we move on. We move on to Eli in Berkeley joining the pregame show, 888-957-9570. Eli, what's going on in Berkeley, brother?
Good morning, Spadoni. How you doing, big dog?
Oh, dude, I'm loving life, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to kind of comment off of Steve Kerr's comments about the free throw shooting. He said, as a coach, you don't worry about that stuff. And I have to disagree, because you have to worry about all facets of the game, because you can lose the game at the free throw line. And yesterday proved that the free throw line came up big, because we missed 10 free throws. We lost by 3. If we make 4 of those free throws, we win the game by 1. Or we're probably not even in a situation where we need to get a last-second shot. So we need to put more emphasis on the details of the game. And coming off of 2 days rest in the Clippers on the second night of a back-to-back, that's real concerning for me, because the Clippers, again, are playing without one of the best players in league history and one of the best players on their team, and Kawhi Leonard, and you lose twice to them. So, and they're a really, really good defensive team and good, a well-coached team. It's like our lack of preparation coming into the game. We should have ran the Clippers out of the building, and the lack of usage for Jonathan Kuminga, who's someone who can put pressure on opposing teams in transition, because we love to get out and run once we get rebounds. I thought that he only played, maybe 19 minutes. I thought he should have got more minutes, because he was doing some real positive things, some real good things in that second half. Of course, he had his turnovers, and I don't like when they give him the ball at the top of the key and tell him to go ISO, because his ball handling is really not up to par as we would like it to be for somebody who wants to handle the ball like that. But if you get him slashing and get him on backdoor cuts and like on the weak side, and then get him like in the post, because he's big, strong, and fast, he can utilize his athleticism a little bit more. So I thought that last night. And in the turnovers, the Warriors have always, if you want to talk about a coach, we don't really want to worry about certain things like free throws, turnovers. We've always been like among the league leaders the last decade and a half in turnovers because the freedom that Steve Kerr gives his players to try to make plays. So in games like this, it's concerning to me because when you play really, really good teams who's healthy, you're not going to be able to miss free throws and turn the ball over. And that starts with our leaders. Steph Curry and Draymond Green had most of our turnovers. So it's just like, we have to be better prepared coming into these type of games because I expected us to get some sort of revenge and retribution from the earlier loss that we had, in which they came off a back-to-back in that game also and came into the Chase Center and handed it to us real bad. I thought we did a little bit better defensively, but we still can't make the mental mistakes, though, and I thought that hurt us.
Absolutely, Eli. Appreciate the call, man. That's Eli in Berkeley, 888-957-9570. Hey, I get it. You want to exact some sort of revenge. You know, that was the first loss that was handed to you, Warriors home opener. I think a lot of us kind of just forgot it because that was the Dallas Cowboys coming to town, Levi Stadium, Sunday Night Football, and the Cowboys obviously wet the bed there. And they wet the bed last night, too, and their stadium's falling apart, I guess. Everything's falling apart in Jerry World. But, hey, you know, sold-out crowd for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yay! That's the legacy of Jerry Jones. Oh, Robin Samberg. He called yesterday? He didn't call, did he? He actually was wrong about one of his predictions, Robin St. Bruno, frequent caller to the Morning Roast. He thought the Niners were going to go 2-0 in these last two games. He was wrong. He gave him too much credit. I wonder how he's feeling about this team now, if the downfall's already here. 5-5. The GOAT, Jerry Rice, joined the Morning Roast yesterday, courtesy of the River Islands guest line. You can find that entire interview on YouTube. He was not pleased. The last two times we've had Jerry Rice on the station, it was after the Chiefs loss, and now this loss to the Seattle Seahawks. And Jera, well, yeah, he wants to see more from one Brock Purdy, and we'll get into that a little bit more. And I think a lot of people want to see a lot more from a lot of different players and the coaching staff. The faithful is losing faith right now in this team, and fast. How do they get back on track? A win in Green Bay would do wonders. So we'll listen to Kyle Shanahan, who spoke to the media yesterday in his weekly conference call. We'll also listen to Jerry Rice a little bit later. But Warriors fall to the Clippers. Third loss. No time to panic. Eli's just frustrated. I get it. You want to get greedy. You want to beat the teams where you feel like you should beat, right? And the Clippers are going to be, I don't know if they're going to, hang around this pace forever. I really respect Ty Lue as a coach. So if they hang around 500, they will be a play-in team, a fringe play-in contender, if you will. If they play defense like they do and they get contributions from Norman Powell, Zubac, James Harden, I don't think he's going to be shooting that poorly all the time. Yeah, they'll be a factor in that play-in scenario. So I don't think they're scrubs. They're not the Sixers. They're not the Hawks. They're not some of these Eastern Conference teams where it's just like, yeah, you lose to that, it feels like 2 losses. I respect the Clippers. I don't think they're trash. That being said, 19 turnovers, unacceptable. 9 of 19 from the line, unacceptable. And, you look at a free throw percentage by team this season, it's not good for the Warriors. Last. They are dead last at 69.7% free throws made. The Milwaukee Bucks are right above them. And the Bucks stink. They're not good. They're 5-9. Above them, Toronto Raptors, 3-12. How about the Detroit Pistons, by the way? 7-9. Hey, gutsy. And good for Detroit. Hopefully they have at least, if they could show some improvements like that, 7-9, keep that percentage. Hey, he might be in the play in the East. Kate Cunningham, man. I'll tell you what, brother. Conversely, the Sacramento Kings, leading the NBA, by the way, with free throw percentage at 82.7%. Boston Celtics right behind them. Spurs, Thunder, Knicks, rounding out the top 5. Sensing a theme there? A lot of teams that have some size, get to the line, and make their free throws. So, 888-957-9570. Before we hit this break, Draymond Green talked about those turnovers in the first half, setting a tone in a negative way.
Yeah, it set a tone. We turned the ball over I think we had 12 or 13 turnovers in the first half. And they had, at halftime, 23 points off those turnovers, And so you hold a team to 102 points, give up 31 points off turnovers. Defense was pretty good, but you can't defend those turnovers. And like I said, I was off. So that's on me.
That's on him. And he also talked about if the free throws are an issue. Steve Kerr seemed to think the turnovers were more of an issue, but what's Day think?
No, it's an issue. You gotta make free throws if you want to win at a high level in this league. Going 9 for 19. I think last game we probably missed, or within the last 2 games, I know we missed like 13 or 14 of them. So it is an issue that we got to correct.
888-957-9570. What do you do to correct that? You just go in the lab. Just got to make 500 of them before you go home. Are you going 100? What are you doing? No, Steph's fine. He's chilling. Everyone else, though, got to work on it. Hey, Andrew Wiggins, by the way, and only 2 missed for him. It's a great night for Andrew Wiggins. 6 of 8. Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. By the way, Draymond Green career percentage from the free throw line, 71%. Career free throws made. All right. 888-957-9570. 1 segment down, 2 more to go. We'll discuss more Warriors. They fall yesterday, 102-99. I really want to get into some of this Niners sound, though, because the Niners right now are reeling. The conversations that were being had yesterday, my God. Sky falling at 5-5. Shanahan, Shanahan's not having a great year. The Niners aren't having a great year. Year's not over. Can still win this division. It's not over yet. Although losing to Geno Smith and him going night-night on you feels like the low point of the season. Can it get lower? 888-957-9570. Plus, the rich potentially getting richer. A tale as old as time. And it's from our friends who wear blue and white down in La La Land. We'll discuss that on the other side. On 95.7 The Game.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create.
years. And The Panorama, a quarterly newsletter covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
Bay Area, it's Brandon Pajemski. You're listening to the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on 95.7 The Game.
I can be a lot better. I feel like I can be a lot better. To miss time with an injury is always tough. It's not an excuse, but I know I can be a lot better. I feel it. It's coming. We just got to get rolling.
Yeah, it's not like us, but that's just what we've shown this year. So I guess until we stop doing that, then that's what we are.
Christian McCaffrey, Fred Warner after the game. Niners taking the L to the rival Seahawks at Levi Stadium. They fall to last in the division, technically tied, but due to tie-break scenarios, due to, who have you lost to head-to-head, they're last right now in the division. It's November 19th, and the San Francisco 49ers are in last place in the NFC West. Fred Warner says this is who we are until we show otherwise. God, I love Fred Warner. Always accountable, just such the consummate professional, the leader. Every team needs a Fred Warner. And the 49ers are lucky to have a guy like that. The problem is, doesn't have a lot of help. Nick Bosa's hurt. You got a young secondary. You got young players. They're doing their best. They're making some plays. And again, the defense, I think, gets a bad rap. I don't think the defense has been the biggest issue with the 49ers this year. It's been offensively in the red zone specifically, just shooting themselves in the foot, sustaining drives, 3-and-outs. Like, they started the game with a 3-and-out. I feel like they've done that multiple times this year, which is so uncharacteristic of a Kyle Shanahan offense. Again, no George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk's out for the year. You're relying on Ricky Pearsall. You're relying on Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, who's having a career year, who's doing all he can to help this team right now, and it's still not enough. He had one of the greatest games of the season, and they took a loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Brock Purdy hasn't been his best, and his best was last year, and he has not lived up to that. He's been okay. He's been solid. Is he the biggest issue with the 49ers? No. It's a culmination of things right now, though. And 888-957-9570 is the number. And I just like to gauge 49ers fans right now. Yesterday it was a lot of Kyle Shanahan. I need something more tangible than that with this season in particular. What's been the most, and how do I want to phrase this? Because I got to be careful here. What's been the most surprising aspect of this team so far for you, Niner fans? What has surprised you the most? And for me, it's just how vanilla everything looks. And that's not what I'm accustomed to with Kyle Shanahan. I'm exposed to a lot of, gash, a lot of 20-yard bursts, a lot of, right down the middle of the field, Brock Purdy hits someone on a seam. Like, I'm used to some explosion with this team. And now a lot of that is no Christian McCaffrey up until recently. And he doesn't look the same. And you just heard him coming into this segment. Feels like he can be a lot better. Well, they're going to need him to be a lot better. But what surprised you the most about this team thus far into the season, culminating in a last place in the NFC West? 888-957-9570 is the number. Good morning to all you just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. It's the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, one segment down, two more to go here before handing it off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky, who will be joined by Brian Baldinger at 7:30. Appointment Radio. Don't want to miss it. Kyle Shanahan, speaking to the media yesterday, he's still pissed off.
We were pissed off from yesterday. That was a tough loss. We had every chance to win it, and we didn't get it done. So I think guys were disappointed and upset. But we all know each other pretty well in here. We understand our expectations, and we had a good team meeting, addressed a bunch of the fourth quarter, kind of watched it all together, and then we broke up into our position meetings. But I think guys are pissed and ready to put that game behind us. Today's always a hard day to deal with it because of some of the frustration of what happened. And now I think our guys can't wait to get to Green Bay as fast as we can.
Green Bay coming off a huge win over their division rivals, kind of the inverse of the 49ers, as Green Bay hangs on to win after a blocked field goal that would have won the game for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. So going to Lambeau Field, it's going to be cold. Is it going to be raining? Is it going to be snowing? I don't know. East Coast is unpredictable. Midwest, I know, not East Coast, but you got what I'm saying. I know Midwesterner would get mad at me for saying that. So Midwest, East Coast, all your guys' weather, honestly, once you get into like Middle America, or even the Pacific Northwest a little bit, anything outside of California, I'm just saying you guys are all unpredictable through weather. Sorry, we're spoiled here in our little bubble of the Bay Area where it's 60 degrees in San Francisco year round. And if it gets into 70 in Oakland, that's pretty good. We're spoiled here. So weather-wise, I am not a meteorologist. I'm just expecting anything and everything in Lambeau Field and at Orchard Park in Buffalo in a couple weeks as well. But got a couple calls here that want to chime in on the Niners talk. 888-957-9570 is the number. What are you surprised with the most with this 49ers team this season? And hey, what are you not surprised with? Are you not surprised at all? Chris in San Jose, he wants to join the conversation. What's going on, Chris? You're on the pregame show. Oh, check that. Adrian, I'll put you back on hold. Adrian, hang on. I got Chris. I want to be fair here. Chris called in first. And now, Chris, you're on.
Hey. Oh, there we are. I heard a lot of static. Hey, Spadoni. Morning, buddy.
What's up, bud? How you doing?
I'm doing, I'm surprisingly chipper for a brisk Tuesday morning after that Niners performance this weekend. But I'm good, can't complain. I want to answer your question. I know you're not phrasing it to me specifically, but answer the question of what are you surprised about? And I think given the totality of the injuries, missing CMC for 10 games or whatever, people are a little harsh on Ayuk saying he's overrated. Listen, he's a number one wide receiver for us at least. We're missing him. Kittle's been banged up a few games. To answer your question, I'm really not surprised at all. I mean, this is, when you lose a guy like CMC, he touched the ball 400 times last year, and we talk about Kyle being vanilla or not being creative. Well, he wasn't last year either. He wasn't the year before either. I mean, it might be on a greater scale this year because they're without CMC for so long and Ayuk, but I just see what I've been seeing the last couple of years. A defense that gives up a massive play or two every single game, and it largely has to do with the secondary, pressing up, trying to get the run. They dump over the top. So the defense has kind of been on par with how it's been the last few years. Bosa not really, he had a couple of sacks before he got hurt. Bosa not really showing up to the level of a Myles Garrett or a Dexter Lawrence or all these true game wreckers. Offensively, he went to CMC nonstop last year. So I don't know. I'm not surprised. I just got a question for you, Spadoni. If this falls on its face, right? If they fail again, let's just say they don't make the playoffs. We got questions about Purdy. We know Ayuk's never going to be the same. George Kittle's getting older and often hurt. Deebo Samuel's, he's a middle-of-the-road guy now. To me, you get the ball in his hands, he can make something happen. So I want to know, when we have to rebuild this thing again, which is going to be coming up very, very soon, Spadoni, I want to know if Kyle and John are going to be the ones that lead us through the next 10 years, because by all accounts, this has been wonderful. They've got, plenty of success, but not the penultimate success that represents the San Francisco 49ers, which is winning a Super Bowl. So something's got to happen here, Spadoni. We're going to have some massive turnover in the next couple of years.
There you go.
I love you, Spadoni. Let's have a wonderful Tuesday. Keep this train rolling, baby.
Let's go.
Have a good one.
That's Chris in San Jose. I love it. 888-957-9570. Adrian and Hayward, hang on. I'll get to you on the other side here because I want you to have the time and the place to be able to get what Chris in San Jose got off his chest. And listen, I do think it's a little premature to start saying, lead us the next 10 years and stuff like that. If Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are the right guy, I think they've earned, a down year if this is what it's going to be. Losing the Super Bowl, this is what usually happens. Like, this is what happens. You take a year off, you retool, you revitalize, you get healthier, and then you come back. And if it's still the same problem, then yes, there could be some conversations about the future leadership of this team. But as currently constructed, it's too soon for me to start thinking about moving on from this regime. Now, does there have to be a philosophical change in the offseason? Potentially. And I'll get into that on the other side because I do believe the blueprint is already out there in the NFL, and we saw it. It was actually a game that was happening during the Seahawks-Niners game. It was the Bills and the Chiefs. And we're going to look at those teams on the other side as well, plus more of your calls, more of your texts. Adrian and Hayward. Plus, a meeting took place in La La Land that I don't think Giants fans are going to be happy about. We'll get into that. Plus, the GOAT, Jerry Rice, stopped by, get some thoughts on what he sees from this team. All that and more as we wrap a bow on the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
It's Bonte Hill. Don't just stretch. Get stretched. At Stretch Lab, they're changing the game to help you feel better in your body. With one-on-one assisted stretching, you'll move, play, and recover better. If you have pain, tightness, or want more from your workouts, the experts at Stretch Lab will create a customized program just for you. It's incredibly effective for any age, body type, or fitness level. Right now, get half off your first intro stretch and mobility assessment. Go to stretchlab.com/Bay Area. That's stretchlab.com/Bay Area.
This is Larry Flick, owner of the Floor Store. The holidays are coming, but so is our pre-holiday sale. Starting November 8th, everything will be 30% off. Not just a few selected items, 30% off everything in the store. Go to floorstores.com for directions. The Floor Store, your Bay Area flooring authority.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Yeah, there are so many football games streaming this season. Can Xfinity Internet handle it?
Oh, we know the game is only live once, so we built a network with all-pro speeds and low lag so you don't miss a snap.
So I can yell, "He's open!" when he's actually open?
Yeah, but the quarterback still can't hear you.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and TV and enjoy instant access to your favorite live sports with the Xfinity Stream app. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Streaming content limited to the U.S. Programming subject to change.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a MyLowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards. Because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free famous bowls from KFC, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
At Inform Your Community, we combine topics that people want more information about with fun events like crafting, movies, and games, which cover information on a range of topics that impact what happens in the United States. Now we're taking our nonpartisan virtual events and launching in-person chapters around the country. Get informed and have fun while you're at it. Let's grow together. Sponsored by Inform Your Community, a nonpartisan nonprofit. Come visit us at informyourcommunity.org.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
In 1848, James Marshall discovered gold at Sutter's Mill, and in 3 years, a multicultural migration grew a sleepy trading post of 800 to a city of over 250,000. These were the first dreamers, innovators, builders, and inventors that defined San Francisco. The San Francisco Historical Society exists to uncover, preserve, and present in engaging ways the colorful and diverse history of our city from its earliest days to the present. As a member, you'll receive The Argonaut, an award-winning publication that has provided in-depth historical accounts for over 30 years. And The Panorama, a quarterly newsletter covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
You're listening to the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on 95.7 The Game.
Thanks, Andrew Wiggins. Warriors taking the L last night, 102-99. You heard that right here on our airwaves. You're home for Golden State Warriors basketball, 95-7 The Game. Wiggins yesterday, 7 of 12, 22 points for him, but he had a pretty good day shooting the ball, only a couple boards, no assists, 6 of 8 from the line, and he seemed to shoot the best from the line. Steph Curry could not get to the line. Was your best free throw shooter, couldn't get there. Well, it's all right. You're 10-3. The sky's not falling there. There's no reason to panic for the Warriors. For the Niners, might be panic season right now. Might be time to be hitting that old, we're last place 10 weeks into the season, and there is not one thing about this team that gives me hope that they're going to turn it all around right now. They haven't shown it. What surprised you the most about this team, though? Chris in San Jose isn't that surprised. He called last segment and he said, you know what? This team's hurt. And this is who they are. They're not very good. They're kind of vanilla last year, but you have so much talent. It doesn't look very vanilla, and you just have some explosive plays. You have some one-on-one matchups that you like, and guys make plays, and guys aren't making plays right now. Well, why? I mean, you still got some players. You still got all pros. Is it just as simple as it's just too many blue chippers down? I don't know if guys stepping up. I mean, I got to think there's some other teams out there that have lost a lot of star power, and they're still battling. Now, when I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and again, maybe that's unfair to me. Maybe it's unfair to me to compare the 49ers to the Chiefs. And even though we were doing all offseason, I mean, we felt like they were right there with the Chiefs, right? They were right there. Hey, this team's more talented than the Chiefs. We were favored over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Okay. Oh, the Chiefs lost 2 of their top receivers, and what did they do about it? They went out and traded for one in DeAndre Hopkins. The Niners, well, they had a lot of losses. And what did they do at the trade deadline? Not a lot. Nothing of significance. So maybe that tells you all you need to know about this team and the belief in those respective teams. 888-957-9570. Adrian Hayward, you're on the pregame show. What's going on?
What's up, Joe? Good morning. How's it going?
Well, doing great. Where are you at? It sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
Oh, man, I'm driving right now to work. I'll speak a little loud, but I've called before. I'm sure you know me. Brock Purdy, and the fan base, the defense is not the problem. 20 points scored on us. That's not a lot. Offense, everyone's pointing the finger at everyone but the quarterback. Since the tape got out on Brock on Christmas Day, they're 7-7. Brock 7-7. 12 interceptions with a bunch of fumble turnovers, so I think it's like 17 total turnovers. Man, I don't want to see him here with us for 3-4 years and get tied on to Brock. They need to start looking at other options. I mean, the tape's out. This is what we got. Brock Purdy isn't good enough. People need to start coming around. I know people love his story, and he's a good guy, and last pick of the draft. Guess what? The NFL doesn't care about his story, dude. The tape is out. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Okay. Adrian's out on Brock Purdy right now. He doesn't want to pay him next year. He says, listen, I have not been overly impressed with Brock Purdy either. I think he's been solid. I think he's been serviceable. He has not been an MVP caliber player like he was last year. That being said, it feels like the ship has sailed if you are moving on to another quarterback. What are you going to do? If not Brock Purdy, then who? If you're the 49ers. That's what I would ask. You going to tank for Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or trade all the way up? Yeah, that worked out great last time for Trey Lance. Like, I've seen Brock Purdy at the highest of heights damn near won a Super Bowl. And he was an MVP candidate last year. And don't give me that Jimmy Garoppolo also went to his Super Bowl crap, because he was not nearly playing as well as Brock Purdy did last year. At no point was Jimmy Garoppolo an MVP candidate like Brock was last year. Now, to Adrian's point, since Christmas Day, when it was the battle of the MVP candidates, Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy, Lamar skyrocketed. He took the reward. Brock Purdy's level of play since that game, not great. 13 touchdowns this year, 10 total turnovers if we're including lost fumbles. He's fumbled the ball 6 times, lost 2 of them. So if you just want to put the fumbles and interceptions combined, yes, that'd be 14-13. But we'll just do lost because that's, in fairness, though, when there's an actual turnover, that hurts the team. So 13-10. Touchdown to turnover ratio. Not great. And when you compare it to the rest of the league and some of the other quarterbacks, he comes up a little bit short. But we're talking about the best of the best quarterbacks. Like, we're talking about the cream of the crop. We're talking about Lamar Jackson. We're talking about Joe Burrow. We're talking about, the Josh Allens of the world. So he's more like a Baker Mayfield right now. All right? It's okay. Baker's having a pretty good year overall still. But what Brock has shown is not enough right now if this team wants to get where it ultimately wants to go. 888-957-9570. We got someone calling in from the 650. I'm just going to go to him blind right here because Sammy is out prepping. So I can just go to a caller right now, and I'm going to do that. Who do I got on the line here on the pregame show? Who is this, 650?
Oh, this is Dave from South San Francisco.
What's up, Dave? What do you want to talk about? You're on the pregame show, man.
With all due respect, the previous caller saying get rid of Purdy or look somewhere else, I think he's fine. My issue is before the Super Bowl last year, the Niners were doing a lot of commercials, Christmas parties, and not really prepping fully, in my humble opinion. The Chiefs were learning the overtime rules. They were focused on winning, even though they won like previously or whatnot. So I think it's a matter of like commitment and heart. And when the 49ers lost a lot of the veteran players, it kind of affected them. So this year we're struggling, but I'm a 49er faithful fan, so I think we'll do fine overall.
There he is. All right, he's faithful. 888-957-9570. What do you have faith in this team right now? If you are the faithful, what do you have the most faith in? Is it Brock Purdy, like David said? He's got faith in Brock. Do you have faith in Brock? What do you have faith in with this team right now? You're a 500 team, the definition of mediocre, the definition of average. That being said, you are statistically game out of first place. So you're right there still. There's still time to salvage this season. Now, I said it last week, and I said the expectations of this team should not be Super Bowl anymore. And I think more and more people are kind of coming along to my line of thinking because that happens. I mean, I just make great points. That's what, people are attracted to. It's not this beautiful face. And yes, the nose is real and it's spectacular. But the expectations are just to win the division now. Just win the division. You know what? Anything after that would be dessert. It'd be the gravy. It'd be whatever you can think of. But if you win the division, in this kind of a tumultuous season with everything that's gone on, somehow, some way, host a playoff game, I'd have to feel pretty good about the direction of this team still, even with all the crap. I know you want to feel like you can go to the Super Bowl every single year. Not everyone can. That's reserved for very, and I mean very, few teams in this league. I really only give that to one team in the NFL that I expect them to be in the Super Bowl every year. And really two this century. It was the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick Patriots and the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes Chiefs. That's it. Those are the only teams that I have legitimate expectations will be at least in the conference title game every single year. The Niners have been on a great run. The Ravens have been on a great run. I'm not giving that to them, though. Why? They haven't won the big one. And when you win the big one and you win it again and you're going for a three-peat, that's a level of success and standard that you have to respect just to the fullest degree. Not that I don't respect what the 49ers are doing, but when you lose the Super Bowl, not only is it a physical toll, it's an emotional toll. And I think we played the sound early this season, and Guru sent it in one of the threads we're on with Evan and Steiny. And, you know, we kind of scoffed at it because it was Manti Te'o of the NFL Network, and obviously Manti Te'o, Catfish. But again, a Heisman candidate, Notre Dame, played in the league. I respect his opinion when it comes to playing in the NFL. And what he was saying to start the season is like the 49ers just look emotionally drained. That's what he said. They just look emotionally spent. And, you know, we kind of scoffed at it a little bit here. But I think deep down there was some truth to that. And a lot of Niner fans didn't want to admit it. Like, Niner fans were emotionally spent. How do you think the players felt? With the holdouts, the hold-ins, losing the Super Bowl the way you did, not knowing the overtime rules. You got, you know, Christian McCaffrey's not playing because he's got bilateral Achilles tendonitis, your best offensive weapon. Brock Purdy's going to get paid next year. So all the 49ers are getting their ducks in a row financially. You know, Ricky Pearsall, your rookie wide receiver, who you didn't know if he was going to be your number one or not because you didn't know if you're trading Brandon Ayuk or you're trading Deebo Samuel. He gets shot. Like, what is going on? You lose Javon Hargrave for the season. You lose Talanoa Hufanga. Dre Greenlaw tears his Achilles in the freaking Super Bowl. The list just goes on and on and on. It's exhausting to talk about. I'm getting exhausted physically talking about it right now. I think the 49ers they are exhausted right now. But that's not an excuse. I don't think other teams are exhausted. Everyone's exhausted. It's November 19th. The year's almost over. It's been an exhausting couple months for you, boy. I'll tell you that right now. You know what I'm not exhausted by, though? It's the morning roast. They got Brian Baldinger coming on 7:30. Is he going to calm the waters? Or is he going to add gasoline to the fire for this 49ers season? We'll see. 7:30, Baldy, coming up with Bonta and Jaski on 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Hey, it's Willard and Dibs for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for members. And as always, earn 4 times reward points on hundreds of exclusive offers with your Safeway app. First thing, free Signature Farms turkey with a minimum purchase of $150, excluding the price of the turkey, or just pay 87 cents per pound. Limit one offer or free item per household. And it pairs well with Josh Chardonnay, 750 milliliter bottle, single price, $13.99 each, or mix and match 6 or more and pay just $12.59 each.
How about bacon? Exclusive digital deal on Oscar Mayer bacon. 12-ounce packages, $3.97 each. Limit 4 items. Also, an exclusive digital deal on Lucerne milk. Half-gallon selected varieties, $2.47 each. Limit 2 items.
I don't know if you know this, Dibs, but bacon goes with everything.
Yep.
The app is simple to use and makes it easy to save money. We all like that. Go to Safeway.com for more details, and we will see you in the aisles.
Terms and conditions apply. For full details, see unlock.com/legal. Actor portrayal.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How did you find the money to do it?